Struggles. Hey everyone, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through my no foundation makeup routine. So this is going to be different from a no makeup look, as it's still going to be fairly obvious that I am wearing makeup, but this look is just very fresh and quick and easy, and I'm gonna say it's natural, for me at least, but this is just my go-to look when I want to look put together but I don't want to wear full glam. So say I'm going out to lunch with friends or I'm going to the city for the day, and this was also fairly similar to what I used to wear to school. So maybe this can be helpful in giving you some tips on how to wear your makeup to school or for work. So I really hope that you enjoy this video and it's helpful. Be sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave and check out my social media links below, and be sure to click that little notification bell so that you're notified every time I post a video. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna tie my hair back and get it out the way. Oh wow, this look is just so cute. So because we're not wearing foundation, I think that's even more reason why we really want to focus on the skin and make sure it's looking really fresh and healthy and glowing. So I've already gone ahead and moisturized my skin and let that sink in. So I'm now going to go in with the Smashbox Primer Water, and this just really refreshes the skin and gets some hydration into it and just makes it feel like So now is where I'd suggest going in with a primer that suits your skin and your skin's problems. So say if you have large pores, then you want to go in with a pore minimizing primer, or textured skin, then a smoothing primer. So today I find that my skin's looking a little bit blotchy. You know, I haven't got any red acne, but I've just got a few red patches. I've got some veins happening and I have got freckles. So my skin's just looking a little bit blotchy and I just want to really smooth that out. So usually I go in with the Urban Decay Self-Adjusting Complex Primer, and I find this really does the job of blurring my skin, blurring my redness. But the self-adjusting part I find just leaves like a weird colored cast to my skin, and that's fine when I'm applying foundation, but when we're going for this no foundation look, we obviously don't want that. So instead I'm going in with the Milani Prime Perfection Face Primer, and this is hydrating. It's also pore minimizing, which doesn't really affect me, but I find this primer also blurs the skin, the redness, the imperfections. So that is what I'll be going in with to start with. So I'm just going to take this on my hands and just use my fingers to really rub this into my skin. So I'm now taking the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Radiant Primer, and purple is used to brighten the skin. And I don't really know how to explain what this primer does, but you know when your skin is just looking dull and flat, this primer is used to really brighten it, give back that radiance, and just like, you know? So I've just applied some to the back of my hand, and I'm now going in with the Morphe M436, which is a fiber brush, and I'm just going to be applying this on my skin. And it feels so nice and hydrating. See, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on camera, but my skin just looks so much brighter and fresher and more radiant and just like, yes. So I'm now going to go in with a little bit of concealer. So I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer in Very Fair. And I love this concealer for this no foundation makeup look, as it says it has a natural radiant finish. So it will still cover the imperfections, but it won't look matte or heavy or cakey on the skin. So I'm just going to take the smallest amount and just do a few little dots under my eyes and on my eyelids, as I do have some redness and veins happening on there. And I'm going to blend this out with a Morphe Y15 brush. It blends out the foundation or concealer really well. And I think with this look, less is more. So by just applying the smallest amount, it hasn't completely covered everything, but it's just covered it enough. I'm also going to go ahead and apply that concealer to the back of my hand and just take it on the brush, like the smallest amount, and just apply it to anywhere else that I feel I need it. So I've got a little bit of redness on my cheeks, as well as to any red blemishes or anything like that. Just around my nose, as I do get some redness around there. And because I've used such a small amount, you can't tell I've got anything on my skin whatsoever, but I just look more awake and put together. And I would usually go in and set my concealer with a translucent powder, but with this no foundation makeup look, I like to avoid powders as I find that it kind of sits on top of the skin, whereas when I'm using liquids and creams, they blend better into the skin and look more natural. And I find that as I used such a small amount under my eyes and on my eyelids, I don't have to set them as they don't crease for me personally. So for my no foundation makeup routine, I don't go in with contour or bronzer. Personally, I don't like cream contouring and bronzing, but obviously I have to go in with highlighter, like, obviously. And I find that using a highlighter is another way of popping out my cheekbones without contouring them. And I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Liquid Glow in Perla on this tiny cute little beauty blender, and I'm going to be applying this to the tops of my cheekbones and bringing it around just above my eyebrow. It gives you that glow, but it's not like sparkly. So when you turn your cheek, it's not like, pew, it's like, you know? Also, just bringing that down my nose, Cupid's bow, and a little bit on the chin, just so we're super glowy. And what I love about this liquid highlighter is it sets itself. So with some liquid highlighters, you need to go in with powder over the top to keep it there throughout the day, but with this one, it's not gonna move. And as you can see, I went in with a really light hand, but it's still giving my skin that healthy glow. Okay, so the skin is pretty much done. Let's move on to the eyes and the eyebrows. In my last video, I told you guys that I cut off a little bit of the end of my brow. Well, since that video, I decided to take it to the next level and I cut off a little bit more. And I know right now it's just looking shocking. Literally my mum's reaction when she saw it, she was like, oh my gosh, what have you done? But so far I have no regrets because I draw on my brows pretty much every day anyway, and it's making life easier. So far, no regrets, but that might change in a few months. So for my brows, I do a very similar concept to what I usually do, just a little bit more natural. So I'm going to start by taking my Tarte Amazion Clay Waterproof Brow Pencil in medium brown. And I'm going to start by just drawing the underneath of my brow, just to give it some shape. And as I go, I'm constantly brushing out the lines that I create, so there are no harsh lines. And just notice that I haven't touched any of this area because I want the beginning of my brow to look really natural. I find that when I'm filling in my brows for more of a natural look, I'll fill them in a little bit thinner than what I usually would for more of like a full glam look. You guys know by now that I like the end of my brows to look pointed and snatched, whether I'm doing a full glam or a natural look. So I'm going to take the Chi Brow Pomade in dark brown on a Zoeva wing liner brush, and I'm going to use that just on the end of my brow to really sharpen it up. So for this natural brow that I'm going for, I don't mind if the top of the brow hairs are kind of out of place, but I like the bottom of the brow to still be sharp. So I'm just going in with more of that concealer on a flat top synthetic brush and just cleaning it up a little bit. I don't know, sometimes I do try and make the end of my brow look more natural and just like go less pointed, but it literally, like, it makes me feel on edge. I'm like, no, I have to make it sharp and have to make it pointed. Like, I don't know, I do try, but it always just ends up sharp and pointed. I'm now going in with the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper in medium dark, and I'm going to use this to really tint my brow hairs. And this is a great product because it also sets them into place. So I don't have to use a clear brow gel, which just saves a little bit of time. And as I haven't touched the beginning of my brow, this also just makes my brows look a little bit more natural. And once they're tinted, I just like to brush up the beginning of my brows just to make them look a little bit more bushy. I feel like mascara is another one of those products that I can't go half-hearted into. Like, once I start, I can't stop, and every single time I end up with a full coat of mascara on my lashes. So that is what I'll be doing again today. So I'm going to start off by tightlining my eyes with a black pencil eyeliner, then curling my lashes, and then applying a coat of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara before taking the L'Oreal Telescopic Extra Black Mascara just on the tip of my lashes to make them super long and luscious. And I just think applying mascara makes the biggest difference. Like, you could have not slept for like 2 days, but if you apply mascara, it just makes you look so much more awake and your eyes so much wider. And I'm also going to be leaving my waterline bare because that is another way of making my eyes look bigger and more awake. So I'm just going to be applying the mascara. So I'm actually going to be taking a little bit more of that Anastasia liquid highlighter and just applying it right to my inner corner. And this will also just make the eyes look more awake and just brighter. So let's go ahead and do some lippy and then we are done. So my go-to lip product for a no foundation routine is a lip gloss. I just find it really comfortable on the lips. I don't have to be worrying about, do I need to touch up? Has a little bit come off? Because you know, when you're wearing like a nice nude lip gloss, it doesn't really matter if a little bit comes off. No one's gonna really notice. So my go-to is the NYX Butter Gloss in Madeline. I think the quality of these are just as good as any high quality lip gloss. They smell amazing and I'm just obsessed. It just gives that little something without being like too extra, which like that is a first for me because I love being extra. And I am just going to take the Milani Make It Dewy setting mist just to lock everything into place and give my skin that extra dewy glow. And this is the finished look. As I've said, this look is just really quick and easy, but it makes you look so fresh and healthy and put together. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.